up? How you guys doing out there today? This is your boy Rebel Beast. I'm here with my boy Jeremy. We're to present you our NBA morning shoot around for Friday, April 19th. If you're new to this channel, please make sure to click the subscribe button below. This way you can watch all of our NBA, MLB, and NFL videos. And if you haven't came and checked out our website here at dfscheatsheet.com, you're absolutely missing out. We have all the tools to help you compete with the pros day in and day out, including a complete optimizer, tons of content, daily Fanduel, and Draftkings cash lineups. Hey, we're truly a one-stop shop for all your DFS needs. So make sure to come check out the site here at dfscheatsheet.com. So, hey, what up, Jeremy? How you doing out there, bro?
Yo, what up, man? How you doing?
Hey, doing good, man. Had a pretty good night in the NBA tonight on FanDuel. So, yeah, man, I'm ready to talk some basketball. It was a pretty good night for sure. Ready to go?
Let's go.
Cool. Real quick before we jump into it, if you guys don't mind, please take that quick second, click the like button down below. Helps me out. Really appreciate that from you guys. And yeah, man, let's get into this. So, first game we're going to go with is going to be the Toronto Raptors going into Orlando to face the Magic. This game has a 210 over under, and Toronto's favored by 4.5 in this one.
Yeah, so, I mean, look, Kyle Lowry with the bounce-back game scores 22 points. Kawhi Leonard with a 50-point fantasy game. I think that's kind of where you keep it, right? Lowry, and you can look at Marc Gasol at 6.2. You just mentioned, though, that you seem to think that Vucevic's struggles have to do with the amount of big men they're throwing at him. And if that's the case, Gasol is a little bit risky because he can get in foul trouble. If that's the approach they're going to take, just they're trying to D up Vucevic and take him out of it, which I personally think is a good strategy. I think I said in the last video that, to me, the Orlando targets were their perimeter players because you need Vucevic to create some assist opportunities and have some guys like Terrence Ross knock shots down. So I'm going to stick with Lowry. I'm going to stick with Kawhi. That's the easy way out on this one, but unfortunately, this is the playoffs, and those are their two high usage guys. The series is tied at 1. It's a pivotable game 3. You're going to ride your dogs right here, man.
Yeah, I mean, Marc Gasol, I think that he's a good GPP play, but a guy that I do really like, though, I like Siakam. He's a guy that they're getting a ton of minutes right now. He's playing there was a game, I think he played 42 minutes ago, not that long ago. The guy's going to get a ton of minutes, so he's one guy that I do really like on the Toronto side of things. On the Orlando side of things, I mean, you stick with, Vucevic. Honestly, I think he's a GPP play, but the price is down right now. Like, I think that you can give it a shot. But I mean, you got Marc Gasol, a really good defender. He's the guy that he's not going to body down low and get those easy shots. Vucevic is taking a bunch of contested shots. So man, I like Marc Gasol. I think that he's a guy that they're going to play. I'm sorry. Not Marc Gasol. I like Vucevic as a GPP play, but I don't like him so much against Marc Gasol and Ibaka. So that's kind of with him. You mentioned that your favorite guy on the Orlando side of things is Terrence Ross. 5,500. I think that he is a good player. They need scoring. That's what's going on with them right now. They need scoring when they're not getting it from Vooch. So, I mean, I like Terrence Ross. I like Fournier, the perimeter players you can throw in. Jonathan Isaac is 5,000. He's getting some good run right now. You really just look into their main guys, and the only bench guy is going to be Ross. Aaron Gordon, I mean, with him too, it's a tough matchup. He hasn't done nothing special. 6,700 is a very fair price tag. He's playing the minutes. I think I like Aaron Gordon at his price tag a little bit more than Vucevic. What do you think about that, bro? Who would you go with, Gordon or Vooch, to kind of have a good game?
I mean, you're talking about price, right? So, I mean, but to me, the Aaron Gordon matchup is very difficult because of the athleticism of Siakam and Kawhi Leonard, right? There's two guys that they could throw there. It just depends on what Orlando's trying to do. I don't think Vucevic can beat you in a game. He can beat you. I don't think Aaron Gordon can beat you. What's happening, though, is Aaron Gordon tends to fall in love with a perimeter jump shot when he can't get spacing.
Right.
And he's not a good three-point shooter. I mean, he can get hot like anybody in the NBA can, but I would go Vucevic, man. I just think Vucevic, this has been the improbable year for this guy. Home playoff game for him. I'm sure he'll be hyped. I would go Vucevic.
Yeah, honestly, I think I would probably go Vooch too, just because he's too good of a player to have three bad games in a row. At home, I actually do think, but no, like I said, Aaron Gordon 6.7, a fair price tag. I think he's going to give you a floor of at least 25 with upside of 45. So that's kind of where it is with Aaron Gordon. And then, like I said, the two other guys, Fournier, Ross, the perimeter players, and you can look at Augustine, the hero of Game 1, 6,000. The last game, he didn't have a good game, but none of the Magics really have a good game. He's a guy that's going to play 30 to 32 minutes, and he has a little bit of upside. 6,000, I think, is a fair price tag for him. He's in play as well. So that's really where I'm gonna stick it. It's going to be Augustine, Fournier, Ross. And then like it's basically the starting lineup, and you can look at Ross off the bench, move on. Next game we're going to go with is going to be the Boston Celtics going into Indiana to face the Pacers. This game has a 203.5 over under, and Indiana is favored by 3.
Again, home playoff game. They need this one. Indiana needs this one. So I look for Kyrie to come close this out. I just think there's blood in the water. And I know you said you like the price of Aaron Gordon at 6.7, but do you like Aaron Gordon in this spot, or do you like Jason Tatum in this spot?
Oh, it's a tough one because I mean, how has Tatum been doing in the series so far? I haven't seen that.
So 33.8 in the last game, a much more competitive game than the first game was. I think this game will be somewhat competitive as well, for the simple fact that this place is going to be loud. This is a basketball state. Basketball is everything in Indiana, right? So I think it'll be loud. I think this is a great spot for Boston for fantasy production. 6.8. I like this a lot.
So just to answer your question real quick, I think I'll probably go Gordon over Tatum. To be honest with you, I just feel like Aaron Gordon's team needs him more than Tatum team team needs him. So for me, I think I would go Aaron Gordon in that particular spot. But yeah, man, I like Boston a lot too. I mean, you think it's going to be a sweep?
I do, but I mean, I think this is going to be a haymaker that gets thrown. We see so many times when teams are supposed to get swept out, if they don't split at home or on the road, they typically get that one home win.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think same thing. I don't know if it's going to be this game or next game. One of the two games is going to be a letdown, and they're going to get beat, and one of the games they're going to play well, and they're going to steal one. I agree with you with that.
I think this could be the backbreaker game, though. Like, I think this could be they throw their haymaker shot. Indiana does, and I think you got
this is their must-win game.
Yeah, but I think they're going to throw a shot, right? And I think that they're going to come up short. And I think that I love Al Horford again. I love Kyrie Irving again. I love Tatum. I like Marcus Morris. I like all four of those guys. I'm not really on Jaylen Brown, just for the simple fact I don't know if there's enough to go around in this type of game and this type of atmosphere for him. I think that Al Horford will facilitate. Kyrie Irving will be a high usage player. He'll be in the isolation. Play some isolation basketball. I think Horford facilitates. I think Morris does what he does, banging on the boards. He'll knock down some threes. And then I think Tatum's the most athletic guy on the floor. So I like all four of those guys.
Man, on the Boston side of things, on the Pacers side of things, I'm gonna keep it simple, man. I mean, if they are gonna come out and they're gonna compete and they are gonna take this game, it's gonna be their main guys. You're gonna have to look at Carlson. He's been playing bad, but overall in the season he's been playing very, very well. He's the guy that you got to start with. If they play well, it's gonna be because of him. He's a guy that can get you 12 to 15 assists in a game. He's making everybody better. They're going to probably win. They're probably going to win a game if he has 12 assists. That means the team was playing very well. So I think that's where it starts with Carlson. 4.5 is a fair price tag for him. Played 32 minutes last game. He's going to play you 32 to 34 minutes. So that's where I start. And then you look at, Bogdanovich. He had a very good game last game. 43 fantasy points. He's a guy that they need scoring from. They need to, he's going to play his minutes. Like I said, this is assuming that the Pacers come out and they actually play and they steal a game. You're going to look at Bogdanovich. You're going to look at Carlson. And then you look at the three big guys. You got Thaddeus Young, Sabonis, and Miles Turner. I mean, we've liked bigs against Boston all year long. So I think all three of those guys are play, and that's really where I'm gonna keep him, man. Just the big three guys. And you look at Carlson and you look at Bogdanovich, and those I'm not really interested in anybody else.
Moving on.
Next game we're going to go with is going to be the Portland Trail Blazers going into Oklahoma City to face the Thunder. This game has a 221.5 over under. OKC's favored by 8 in this one. And talk about a must-win game, man.
Look, I'm gonna tell you exactly the same stuff I said in the last game is gonna go for this game. It's CJ McCollum and it's Dame Lillard. We know that obviously. The Enes Kanter thing is no surprise. We don't need to talk about any narrative because if you don't know that, you're an idiot. Your head's in the sand. You're what I call you, a flamingo. So let's keep it real. Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. I said before, I don't know how Paul George defends this situation. I think it's difficult for them. I really needed Navarez to hit a bomb right there so I could have taken down a GPP. So I was a little distracted, so I'm sorry. Navarez going off tonight. So I'm all over Lillard. I'm all over McCollum. I like Enes Kanter. You can look at Harkless if you want, but this is really about Lillard. This is a pivotal game right here. Pivotal. They win this game, series over. I mean, maybe Oklahoma City gets game 4 at home, but I look for Lillard to come out, and he's either good. And I'm 90% confident one of two things happens. There's not going to be an in-between in this game for Lillard. He's either going to go absolutely bonkers or he's going to have a dud from firing up shots and missing them. So I do think that there will be some sort of an adjustment made. The problem that I have, the worry I have here is that they don't have a true pick-and-roll guy, and if they decide to trap Lillard like they did against Golden State when they would trap Steph Curry and make him kick the ball out, or they trap Kevin Durant and make him kick the ball out, they frustrated the shit out of Golden State. I don't know if you remember that. And it kind of set a little blueprint for what teams kind of did to Durant and Curry for a little stretch in the season. They don't have a pick-and-roll player. I mean, that Enes Kanter's biggest problem is defending the pick-and-roll. They don't really have a pick-and-roll set. And without Nurkic, that scares me a little bit. But I think it's either an absolute go bonkers for Lillard or it's a dud. There's no in between.
Yeah, no, I agree with you for sure. I mean, it's going to be one way or the other. I mean, on the OKC side of things, you got to start with Russell Westbrook. He had two bad games in a row. Man, they need this guy. It is what it is. There's no other way around it. 11.8.
Wait. Hold on. I'm not trying to cut you off. I'm not. But you mean 2 bad games from a fantasy production standpoint or from an actual?
Hey, you want to hear something so funny? Because I was about to mention it right now. I was like, well, he had 2 bad games fantasy. Well, obviously, we're talking about fantasy. That's why I said 2 bad games. But yeah, he was 1 rebound away from 2 back-to-back triple doubles. But I mean,
one of them was a pretty monster triple double. Wasn't it like 24, 10, and 10?
Yeah. Well, he just got the 10-10. But like I said, usually we're used to, cricket numbers on the board for Russell Westbrook, So, 37, 47 fantasy points, though. This is the guy that, I expect him to honestly get at least 55 fantasy points tomorrow. Have a good game one way or other. He's not going to go down, to sit down and just lay down and be like, it's over. He's going to go out fighting. He's going to take 30 shots if he has to. Hey, that's the kind of game it is. Like Westbrook. Same thing for Paul George. I like both of these guys. It's a must-win situation, 10.4. I mean, I feel comfortable playing them in a bunch of lines together tomorrow. I mean, look at Paul George. He's playing 40, 42 minutes. The guy's barely even coming off the floor. Same thing with Westbrook. Like both of those guys. Probably my favorite 2 plays on this slate for me. And then outside of those guys, I mean, one problem they have is they need more from Dennis Schroeder. He's not giving them much. The first game, he played 36 minutes. He got you, 20 fantasy points. Nothing crazy, but it doesn't hurt you. But they need this guy to have 25-point game. I mean, he's done it a bunch of times this year. They need him to to pick up a little scoring load tomorrow. I think that he's one of the big keys if they win this game tomorrow. They need more from Dennis Schroeder. If you look, every time he plays well this year, they usually tend to be up in that game and have a good game. So he's a pivotal key. Outside of him, you can look at Adam 6900. He's in play. You can look at Jeremiah Grant. But that's really where I'm at, man. It's mainly just the starters, but I'm not really interested at all in Ferguson. But main place, Westbrook and Paul George, man. You got to love those guys.
The crazy thing about this is that you look at Westbrook and he has one assist shy of a triple double in the second game. Let me see.
Right.
One rebound away. So he goes 14, 9, and 11, and it's only 37.3 fantasy points. And then he goes 24, 10, and 10. It's only 47 fantasy points. That's just, I mean, you look at Paul George, and what more do you want Paul George to do? I mean, 27 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 26, 10, and none. But, I mean, they're not monster games. You feel me? Neither one of them are having monster games. They're making him kind of, for lack of a better term, two-dimensional, right? Because George is scoring and he's getting rebounds. Russ is getting rebounds and assists, and he can't score very well. Like, he needs to get to the free throw line in order to score because his jump shot has just been trash all year. This is a spot like where my gut, I'm like, you just have to load up Russell Westbrook. He's down 2-0. This guy's going to go absolutely nuts. But I don't think he's worth 11-8 tomorrow.
No? Yeah, I like him, man.
You just need too much out of – I mean, think about what you need on this 3-game slate. With Kyrie, right? I mean, I think it's a lot more probable that Kyrie reaches value or Kyle Lowry reaches value than it is that Russ gets you. I mean, you need 72 fantasy points tomorrow out of him. And you can't really go off 5x value tomorrow because – it's a 3-game slate. You need more tournament value in cash games. You need that 6x. I just think it's a lot for him to get value, especially with Paul George there.
Yeah. Hey, we'll have to see, man. I think OKC's going to get this one. But, hey, tomorrow's going to be a good game. I can't wait to sit down, chill, watch it. Going to be in San Francisco for my birthday. It's going to be a good time, man. But, hey, if you guys haven't checked out the site, man, hey, this weekend we already got MMA content up for Saturday. It's an early slate. Make sure and check that out. We're going to have – is there NASCAR this weekend?
There's no NASCAR content this weekend because the next official NASCAR race is next weekend. The NASCAR has their little all-star weekend.
Perfect. Okay, yeah. So, hey, anyways, we got NBA up still, a bunch of different articles. We got MLB every day, got PGA up. Hey, check it out, dfscheatsheet.com. And, hey, man, good luck on your guys' contest tomorrow, and peace out.